Welcome to Shirley's Temple, y'all. We got Clayton, aka Reverse Pathogen, in the building. I'm trying to get him to smile. Yay! There it is, there it is, there it is. No? Yay! Oh, and Slim is here too. He says hi.
What's the dog's name?
Yeah.
Slim?
Yeah.
It's so soft.
He is, right? Aww.
What do you do to keep it soft?
I think it's just his breed, but I groom him. You know, all the things.
How old is this dog?
He's like 5. How many dogs do you say you have?
2.
Nice. Love it. What are their names?
Japo and Wa.
Japo and what?
Wa.
Can you explain those?
They're just the names that they look like, so I just named them that.
What's Japo?
I don't know.
I'm dead.
The dog's name was Jessica at first, and I felt like that was a weird name for a dog.
That is a weird name for a dog.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, for those who don't know, who is Reverse Pathogen? How would you describe yourself?
Well, it's a band, so I'm just one of the members of it, writing the songs and the creative lead of it, play a lot of the guitar and some bass here and there on it, so yeah.
Yeah, nice. How many instruments do you play?
I can play anything with strings. I started off playing the cello, and then I'm classically trained in flamenco guitar, and I've been playing for 20 years.
Damn.
I play drums, I play piano, bass, really anything.
Can we talk about your crazy guitar collection?
Yeah, well, we're actually like moving studios right now, so my whole house is kind of filled. It's like, I have a lot of vintage instruments, not a ton, but and then I have some newer ones. It's like, I don't know, we don't have an exact count, but it's somewhere between 300 and 400, so it's a lot.
Guitars?
Yeah, but
300 to 400 guitars?
yeah.
Is that normal?
Keith Richards has like 3,000 to 5,000, so it just depends. Johnny Marr has like 150, so I have more than him.
Right.
Which is good.
That takes up a lot of space. So where do you... You got a big house.
Not really.
Okay.
Not too big, like maybe like 3,200 square feet, so not that big, but we just built a studio there, so it's got like, it's just, you got to kind of put it in the right spots and then put cases, and certain guitars would be used live versus like in a studio just based off of weight, because if you're playing like for like an hour or two, you know, you don't want something that's like super heavy.
I would imagine that was expensive to rack up. How much is a guitar?
A guitar can range anywhere from 500 to, I mean, they're selling a guitar that Jimi Hendrix just played for a day right now for 400,000. I don't think
400,000?
I mean, I don't have that guitar.
Right, but still.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's the most, maybe the most is like 30,000 that I have, because there's only like 2 of that.
That's crazy.
In the world, at least.
Is that your favorite guitar then?
Not necessarily my favorite, but it's one that it's old, and I mean, actually, that probably there's only one of, because the electronics on it are different than the one. Elliot Easton from the Cars has the only other known left-handed vintage one of that, and so, and his has different electronics. So as far as we know, that's the only one that's like that. So yeah.
Amazing. So I know you started off as a rapper.
Yeah.
Is there an artist that made you want to do music type shit?
No, I mean, I always wanted to do this type of music. It's just I kind of fell into rap and things were pretty easy. Like, I had made a couple songs, and just there was somebody who was doing BTS on a video that I was shooting on the second song I made when I came out here. He's like, I want to introduce you to a producer and take you to his house. And the producer turned out to be Scott Storch.
Oh.
And I didn't know. We just pulled up to a big house, so kind of got lucky there.
Wow.
And then just kind of working with him just made it streamlined to just work with multiple people afterwards. And then got the privilege to work with like people like Zaytoven and Ronnie J a little bit, long time ago. A lot of Uzi's producers. So yeah, just really just sheer luck, kind of just fell back into it, and then stuff picked up as far as that. So then money was coming in because I'm independent, so all the like I'll use distributors, but I'll make at least, you know, anywhere from 85 to 90% of whatever the
That's awesome.
song is. So if a song does well, the checks that come in are pretty decent. So then, you know, you don't necessarily want to stop something when you're like, oh,
For
okay,
sure.
like this is working monetarily wise. So,
Right.
you know, why would I stop?
So what was the meaning behind Ghost Love?
It just kind of sounded cool, but my family was murdered when I was a child, so I just like.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I had rapped under a few different names and released music under a few different names before, and then I was just, it was gonna be like Ghosts Love Me, but then I was just like, oh, Ghosts Love Me sounds better because it just like has more of a ring to it. So I just was kind of like, I guess my version of saying like, you know, I overcome my own mountain, I guess.
Yeah. What happened?
Just like a crazy guy, just like he was fleeing from the police after beating his girlfriend and just like crashed into my mother and two sisters' car and just, no, you can look it up. It's like Googleable. So yeah, then when I was 10 and then just kind of had to deal with that. And, you know, I think it definitely had its emotional toll on my family because, you know, whereas like being so young, you can kind of like start again. You can kind of like, you still have your life ahead of you regardless. You know, if your siblings die, you still feel like you can still enjoy certain things here and there. But like my father, you know, lost the love of his life and two daughters. So it was a lot of like being there for him and making sure like, you know, he was good emotionally because, so I kind of had to be an adult since age 10, you know, so I already feel like I'm like 60, you know.
I'm so sorry, first off.
No, there's nothing. I mean, you didn't do it, so I mean, as far as I know, but
so traumatic. Like, I'm sure music was like therapy for you.
I guess. I mean, I went to therapy before, and like they like completely did like brain scans on me and all kinds of stuff just to see if I had any abnormal disorders or any kind of stuff come up, and nothing. So they basically told me like it would be a waste of my time and money to do it. So.
Wow.
I mean, the therapist was pretty honest and said like, hey, like you don't really need to come here. You can if you want, but you don't need to.
Who's your father?
My father's Robert Lisy, which I actually get a lot. I didn't at first in the beginning of my career. It's funny, I didn't get flack for it because his job changed and then he got a better job when I'm already in my 20s. And so I went from being a nobody to a nepo in the span of like a couple of things. But I mean,
So what does he do?
He's actually the CEO of a money transfer company that's public, so people can like look up like how much he makes and stuff, and then they're like, this is why he has all these big songs and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, no, actually, I took a mortgage out on my fucking home to just
pay for
to not even pay for that, just even my last album and stuff. I've owned several homes because, you know, obviously, when I was young. If the money was frozen, but I had some insurance money from my family's death, and then the money was frozen for a little while, and as soon as I was able to unfreeze it, I started investing right away, and I've already 10x that just through smart investments. Yeah,
what
at least that.
Can you put me on game, please?
It's really, you got to get with like, number one, like people go to college to be day traders, so like you can't like you can't just like do it yourself. You got to kind of have to hire somebody and then, you know, give them a percentage of stuff. Like, it's unfortunate, but it's just like
hire a stock trader, you mean?
Essentially hire that, or like some sort of like firm that can manage your money properly. And it's good because they can tell you like, you know, hey, you're spending too much on this or that, and like it's
How long did it take you to make 10 times?
Not very long.
Really?
No, it was not very long, probably like within 10 years. Or 15 years.
How much did you put in?
I didn't start off with a lot, but started off with enough. I mean, I think, I mean, that's what was the crazy thing. My personal net worth was leaked until I got it suppressed on the internet, and it was at one point, if not equal or higher than my father's. Not to
Really?
brag.
You're more popping than your father?
Probably not now, but
Okay.
there was a while where I think there was at least a healthy competition. So I mean, I don't know.
How did he feel about that?
I don't think he cares.
Okay.
He doesn't buy anything or go anywhere or
Really?
do anything. I mean, he used to like do more fun stuff, but he's like we're Eastern European, so he just doesn't spend a lot of money on anything. So it's
Are
just
Europeans cheap?
Eastern
Or frugal?
Europeans are extremely frugal, like extremely.
I'm Asian. I'm very frugal.
Like he'll wear like same like I have to buy him a lot of stuff. Like
Wow.
I had a car, a nice car that I bought, but I'm not extremely educated in money. Like I didn't even know about like leasing cars and all that kind of stuff because like it's a cultural thing. We don't believe in it. Like if you don't have the money, don't buy it.
Right.
So I had a car, and then I just ended up giving it to him because
What car?
it was a GTC Lusso. It was like a Ferrari, but like the one with the hatchback.
Damn.
And I just gave it to him. I mean, he didn't have to send me pictures of the purple wrap that I had on it being ripped off. But I
Oh
mean,
my god.
that was the only part where I was like, I don't know if I want to see this pictures. Like I appreciate like.
That's hilarious.
He's like, oh look, it was black underneath. I like black better. I'm like, cool, thanks. Like
That is hilarious.
it made me regret the gift a little bit,
You
but
just didn't want your Ferrari anymore?
I can't drive due to an ear condition, so it was that, and also like I had never gotten a chance to really give him a gift other than I bought him like one watch a long time ago. Like I never really gave him anything big, so it was nice to be able to like give something back to somebody who was there for me my whole childhood and stuff, and definitely pressured me and was very difficult on me, pressured me to get into sports, which I think is great, even though I have lasting injuries, because it just in hindsight made everything so easy. Like musicians are very like complaining, like a lot of the ones that I've been around or worked with. So they just like every little problem or any little comment can bother them, or like I'm like if I get people commenting on stuff and it's all hate, I'm like, hey, they're talking about me, right? You know, so it's like,
for sure,
you know, isn't that the goal?
So yeah, does it bother you ever?
No, because actually, what if I told you I was able to do a little research and go back to like, so there's a lot of negative stuff on me about Reddit, and I was just curious, like, where did this come from? So what if I told you I was able to maybe do a little bit of research and find out exactly where these were coming from and trace back that, oh no, this wasn't an Algerian address. This was actually an address possibly located in California, possibly located at some places that wanted to have my signature on a contract. So believe it or not, everything that you see on Reddit and a lot of those things is actually controlled by the bigger guys. And sure, I might have proof of that kind of stuff, but my only thing would be, you know, I'm not necessarily like trying to pull, like, I don't even think I'm on that kind of level, but like Drake press a red button on anything. But my thing would just be stay the hell away from me, and we'll be good, you know? You know, that's all I'm saying. Like, if I can have a message to the majors, you know, just stay away from me and I'll stay away from you. But don't think I don't know. I know a lot more than you think I know.
What were they saying on Reddit?
Oh, all kinds of stuff. Just saying like nepotism. Oh, he has his features because his father buys them. I'm like, really? Because the wire came from my account. Go ask the artist.
Right.
Like, and by the way, anybody has to pay to clear a feature. That's why you don't see features cleared. Because the artists don't own their own stuff.
Who has to pay to clear the feature?
Everybody. Like, every artist. Like, even
if you sample.
No,
if you name a feature from someone, you have to pay for it.
I know big artists that paid for features.
Yeah.
Like I have, like, I'm recording a voice note, you know, just to record a flow in the studio a little while ago, and people are talking about how the big artist paid for a whole album with somebody. Now I'm not gonna really leak who that is because that's like dry snitching. I'm not gonna do that to somebody's career, but like.
I mean, if that's just the game.
That's how it goes. Like so.
What exactly do they have to pay for though?
They have to pay to clear it. So they have to pay. A lot of people don't own their own stuff, or they have affiliations with stuff. So the payment is for the clearance, and the industry's worked this way for years. So when people are like, "Oh, he pays for features," I'm like, "Yeah, that's why they clear."
Yeah.
Because I'm not paying the artist per se. I'm paying who owns the artist.
Yeah.
You can give an artist any amount of money, they might not own their music. So then if they don't own their music, that's not the person you have to pay. The person you have to pay is the person who has ownership and direction of that. It doesn't mean the artist doesn't get some sort of kickback from that because they're like, oh, okay, good job, you know, you're able to drum in some business for us, but it just, you know, to say like, oh, you pay for features, absolutely, everybody does. I mean, there's been like interviews of people talking about this. I'm not the only one who's talked about this.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
I would assume like when a big artist is in the studio with a big artist, they don't have to.
They do.
Who pays who though?
They're out of their label budget pays the other label.
Even if it's a collaborative, like made from scratch record?
Yeah. Every single one. What do you mean?
Just if two people are in the studio making it from scratch, like I just...
No. They're always paying.
Okay.
Who said they weren't?
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, like, no, yeah, no. I mean, I guess it's not a known thing. I don't know, because I think like, I'm sure this was known at some point, but I think like generally like hip hop fans being so much younger, it's kids in high school and stuff, and like they look up to these people like heroes. That's why I won't say any names. I'm not trying to, you know, be the thorn in somebody's side, you know, or go after anybody's Achilles heel and, you know, take down, you know, the god of a man, you know, that people look up to. I don't want to do that to anybody, but I could. I mean, it's not that hard to. I mean, I have so much proof, and actually people who work and do this stuff, buy albums for people, do all this stuff. I mean, like, you know, pump up people's albums. I'm always got my ear to the ground. I want to know what's going on.
Yeah.
Even though these are things that I haven't done because I don't have the track record to show I've done that. I haven't sold crazy amount of records. I mean, and being independent, try to do this stuff, they'll shut you right down because it's most of the, you know, the labels are so invested into Spotify, so invested into all that stuff that they can get away with basically murder. You know, they can get away with, you know, they all have phone systems where they're running, you know, 2,000 phones on a record, and, you know, they have the 12 hours on, the 12 hours off, so it doesn't get flagged. They'll put it on a playlist with other songs of their like, you know, let's just say label U does this, and label S is doing it also. How label U and S are getting away with it is they have the 12 hours on, 12 hours off, so they have their interns. Okay, we got to put the phones on, put them on, and then they'll have a, you know, whole playlist of all their artists' music, run through the playlist, and then do all that stuff. So it's not really like complicated thing. It's pretty easy, and Spotify will never flag it, even though whatever. And then they have a bunch of just different IPs that say, oh, this song, this row of phones here is New York, this row of phones is Chicago, this row of phones is Atlanta, this row of phones is this. And so, and then, you know, you get the router and the phones plug into there, and they can say they're from wherever and put whatever IP they want on there. Like, okay, we can put this IP Manhattan if we want this song to blow up in Manhattan, or whatever places they want. Yeah, it's not really that hard. It's something that, I mean, they just go and buy a bunch of iPhones, have them all hooked up, have them into the charger 24/7 because God forbid it shuts off, and it's not really like a difficult thing. Like, I mean, they're all doing it, and Spotify knows about it.
So what was your most expensive feature?
That's a good question. I think all of them are pretty accurately priced. I think if I were to reveal the price that I personally paid on it, people might get offended, because I did see an interview where the different artist I won't mention was talking about the price of the certain person's feature and leaked the price, and the price was actually more than I paid. Oh. And then so I don't want to like, and also like too, that might be doing them wrong, because what if they've been up since then? So I don't want to put out the price there and then have it as a negotiation tool. That's why I'm not talking specifics about certain people, because it's like, I can talk to you about the details of how things work, but I'm not gonna like come at somebody, because there's just not a point. I have so much proof to come at people, but isn't that snitching? Yeah. You know what I mean? That's like basically pulling a gun, and like, I'm not gonna do that.
For sure, respect.
Like, you know, like, it's just like, but as far as what I know, like tools of the trade, so like there's not some independent artist sitting in his apartment right now being like, why is my music not blown up? Oh, if I sign with a major, like my friend signed with a major and all of a sudden it blew up. Well, this is why. Yeah. Like, it's not organic. Like, you see the 2,000 Instagram videos of somebody in random clips on random accounts. Like, yeah, sure, that's organic. Like, 2,000 people really care about it that much. Now, from those 2,000, 100,000 people might make it because then you planted the seed. But they plant the seed on all this stuff. Like there's a reason why you see certain artists more than you see others, and the more you see somebody, the more it becomes accepted. You know what I mean? It's like if you see it enough, it becomes accepted. So it's nothing bad. Like I said, it's just the way they do things. I do things more organic, so then I get more flack for it because I won't play the game. I could have signed with a label. I had millions of monthly listeners at one point, and could have signed with a label and could have done the whole game and been in the system and everything, and it would have changed the whole narrative on the way people feel and talk about me, but I didn't want to. And my main reason was just freedom. I wouldn't be able to do a band right now and have something so creative like this right now. I wouldn't be able to. There would just be no way, because they wouldn't own you know, Ghost Love Me per se. They would own everything Clayton Lisy writes. And they might own everything Clayton Lisy controls. So that's my legal name. So if they own everything he controls, then boom, they can control how that even gets put out in the future. So I just knew that the future was just going to constantly change, you know, and I wanted to be able to change with it.
For sure. And real quick, I know your song with Uzi was on Rap Caviar. How much did that boost your numbers?
Oh, I think incredible, but I've always thought Spotify. Well, I mean, there was already that TV show on that where he used bots to like make his app look bigger. Like,
the Spotify owner?
Yeah, there's like a whole TV show about this. So that's why I don't feel weird talking about it, because like I'm like, once it's on Netflix, I feel like I can talk about it.
About how Spotify uses bots to boost their numbers?
Well, how it got started and stuff with the guy, and like showing like, I mean, like whenever they start any app, like, or anything, like you gotta have like users on there.
Yeah.
And they always boost your users. That's how you get investors, aka money from like the real rich people, like people who have billions, or investment firms and stuff. And then it's just a whole finesse. But and then eventually the finesse becomes true. So it's not really a finesse if it eventually becomes true. Like he had a vision and believed in it, and was able to do certain things to create that vision. And I mean, I think like when you think about it, most people, when they're going to listen to music, even though it's the worst quality for listening, they're still going to, you know, pull out Spotify, I believe, right? I mean, to listen to an artist. So
or Apple Music.
So they're obviously doing something right. There's nothing bad about Spotify. I mean, they're doing something right for sure. I mean, but yeah, to start up the company for sure. But I think it boosted the numbers on the song a lot. I think being on Rap Caviar it was like 8 months or something.
Damn, that's a long time.
Yeah, it's because he didn't drop, I think, was the main thing, and people were just like craving like any essence of him. He's got a lot of fans, so
yeah, for sure. That's awesome.
You know.
So why didn't you turn your original page to Reverse Pathogen? Did you start all over?
Because
or like Clayton or whatever.
Because it was like I could have even released like this music under whatever and done a lot of stuff, but the whole point was just not necessarily like I felt like I needed to start over. It was just something different. So it was like everything that's different should have its own space,
right?
Its own place to live. You know what I mean? Like, and just like maybe they overlap at some point, and that's fine with certain things. But I think everything should have its own space. It's like sure, like here's red over here, but this is blue. But like when they overlap, there's purple. You know what I mean? So like there might be some purple here and there, but there's you know, you got to have like, you know what I'm saying, like its own space for things.
Yeah. God is lesbian. Can we elaborate on this? God is a lesbian. Yeah.
So the song was it was just a pickup line.
Because, God is a lesbian?
Yeah, because the song starts out, if God's a woman, she's gay, just take a look up at your face. And so like the whole point was just saying like, oh, so, like God must be a lesbian because you're so beautiful, saying it to a woman.
Okay. Got it.
Because God made women, like, you know, like kind of like so.
Yeah,
but then
shook me for a second. Okay,
but
that
then,
makes sense. I like.
But that. God could be whatever. Like I don't think anybody's seen God and like came back and said like, oh yeah, for sure. I don't think it would be anything that would look like man, I guess created in its image, but maybe that was the image in the mind. You know what I mean? So like it doesn't necessarily for say like, whatever, like that I don't think God is a physical entity.
Are you in a relationship?
No, hell no.
Why hell no?
I'm sure, as you know, dating in LA is just not the place to do it. I probably wouldn't do it, and it's hard. Most of the time, if I'm around people, I won't even tell them what I do or who I am or whatever. Not that I'm anybody, but even being like the slightest person in LA makes people just like, feel like, oh, he's somebody. And then it's just like, you don't want somebody to be around just for you for what you do, or like, somebody's gotta, they can be around you for extents for what you do, but like, they gotta like you somewhat as a person, or else it's eventually gonna boil over. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But you never want to settle down and.
I don't know if that's my path. You know what I mean? Like.
Are you saying you're a bachelor and you have multiple women type thing?
I would never reveal that if that was the case.
Okay.
But I think like, I don't know if that's my path. Like creatively, like I feel like I have a lot of stuff creativity wise to still give the world, and I don't know if that ever
involves a partner.
Like, I think my creativity comes from being broken, right? Coming from that 10-year-old, that day I relive every day in my head, every dream is that.
Right.
So it's like,
man, I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. It's just, but I think that's where the best art comes from, is from pain. Mm-hmm. So I think like,
for sure,
if you were to take that away, maybe I move on and have this kind of sense of happiness, and does that then kill that? Is that person then dead?
Necessarily.
Yeah, I think so. I think the reason why you see a Van Gogh hanging up there is because he died loveless and broke, and you know what I'm saying? Like, but people are still gonna like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like.
Have you ever met someone that you like want to, like date? Or is it hard because you have money and like girls, it's tricky out here.
Like, I know it is tricky. Like, you'll find out somebody's damn near married afterwards and be like, fuck, like, like that's kind of information I would have liked to know beforehand.
Yeah.
So, at least let me make that decision if I'm gonna be, a home wrecker or not. I'm not trying to wreck homes. But I'd say it's tricky. It definitely, I don't think anybody really appreciates me for me, or really like whatever their reason for being around. And I think men are appreciated differently, that you got to bring something to the table. I absolutely believe that, but I don't think any of them necessarily like would want me for me.
Yeah.
Or even to be around me and for a long-term type thing.
Well, not with that mindset, but I feel
maybe it is the mindset. Who knows? We'll never know.
Yeah.
But I just think they just don't. It's not like, it's more of a fun time and then it's over with, and that's just the way it's usually been. It's just, yeah.
I hope you find love.
I don't really care to.
Okay.
I mean, it's cool, I guess. Like, I feel like it's a side mission to what the real mission. Like, God didn't put me here to find love.
Right.
Like, I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
what are your thoughts on spirituality?
Other side exists. I can't understand it, and I think the human brain can't comprehend it. But
I agree.
It's deeply vast and bigger than we could ever understand or slightly understand, and it's really like I've been there. Like,
DMT?
I've seen it. DMT doesn't work on my brain, which makes me think that I've like literally taken it till I've thrown up and it won't work. Deep inhaled it, like everything. Yeah.
You've done it a bunch of times.
I've tried it so many times with professionals, everything. It doesn't work on my brain.
What?
I'm not sure why.
I did acid on New Year's Eve, and I was like, do I want to do DMT? Have you done acid? Obviously.
Yeah, I've done acid.
You've done everything, huh?
I've done...
What do you like the most?
I've done everything. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. What like the most being sober?
Okay, respect.
I used to be able
Three
to.
gummies in.
Wait,
Anyways,
but that's not a drug. I
I
don't
know
think.
it's plant medicine. You're right. You're
I
right.
took 6. Is that too
Oh
many?
shit, no, you're good. Dang, your tolerance is crazy.
Why? Whenever are they already kicked in?
No. But I'm saying if, especially DMT, if that you literally don't feel it, like you don't enter another realm.
Well, like, what do you mean? I know where I'm sitting.
No, I'm saying DMT, not shrimp.
Oh, what? No, nothing happened.
Literally.
It tastes terrible, but nothing happens. Yeah, nothing. Like, not even like for that
Are
one
you
doesn't work on my brain.
disappointed? Are you like?
No, I just think I might not be real.
Are you?
Like, you know, like you played a video game before, right?
Yeah.
So like everybody
You say
always
I'm
says
not
like
real?
like oh NPC like NPC, but sometimes like you know how that character that like helps you out in the video game
Uh-huh.
that's even more badass than like the main character. They're just like a side character.
Uh-huh.
That's also an NPC.
Oh.
So I don't know that I'm not just like put here as like a tool, and that
Interesting.
like I don't really have a soul. I'm just like a extension. I'm just like the index, hopefully the index, but maybe the pinky. You know, like.
So have you had a crazy trip off something?
Yeah, and most of the
What was
time
it?
it's me helping out other people. I've taken like way more shrooms than this before.
Yeah.
And I would say like that really's gone pretty crazy. The first time I took acid, I didn't know. I thought it was by weight. It's not by weight. So I took 3 double dipped tabs, which I guess is
Your
like
first time?
yeah. And so
Oh my
I
God.
think, and I was really never the same.
Oh,
But,
really? That's how I be feeling. I feel like after acid, I feel like I'm not the same person.
I wasn't conscious before, like my whole life before that. I wasn't like aware of like that. I was like so like they say only like 5 to 15% of people are actually conscious,
Oh, wow.
and it's like probably is the people that have tried like mind expanding drugs and stuff because, or if you would want to call them drugs, but like because I'm telling you before like that first 20 years it was like I can think back to it, but it was almost like I was watching a TV show.
Oh,
Then
wow.
right after I was 20 when I tried acid. It was like I had the controller in my hands. So like
That's a crazy dose. How long was your trip?
long for like the whole day at least.
That's crazy.
I don't know how long. That's acid. I don't know how long it's supposed to last because it's it's like made of research.
Yeah.
Chemical is most.
I don't really want to. I refuse to actually accept what it is made of. But did you see Diplo on New Year's? He was on acid on like national television.
No.
They were like, when's the last time you did acid? Diplo was like,
I
right
never
now.
met Diplo.
Really? It was like.
Oh, it was on TV.
Yeah. And I was like, that's hilarious. I think that's what I love about acid is you can't tell when someone's on it, you know? But yeah.
Yeah, I guess you can't tell when anybody's on anything.
I mean, nice to see your eyes, your pupils. Yeah.
I used to do straight Santan Molly for like 2.5 years straight every day.
Damn.
I thought it was like because like how people take Adderall every day. I was like, oh, you're supposed to take this every day.
Oh my God.
I didn't realize you're not supposed to do that. Then I was also just taking like a lot of oxy at the same time. I didn't know you weren't supposed to do that.
Did you get hooked on it?
That's the crazy thing. Like I could stop cold turkey at any point.
Like addicted.
No, it's because like my blood vitals are like crazy. Like I should like literally just have a needle just donating blood constantly, like being harvested.
Damn.
Like it's like my vitals are crazy. Like
are you a redhead by chance? Okay, because you know how gingers or people that are redheads, they have like a certain chemical in their body that they don't like. For instance, my friend's friend is a redhead and she literally can eat like 2,000 milligram edibles and not feel anything because they have a chemical. I'm wondering if you have that. Sorry, your beard looked red for a second.
maybe I'm like
you should look into
red
that.
bearded.
Your tolerance seems crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe, yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah.
I dye my hair black, but it's like blonde.
Oh, okay.
Comes out like super blonde.
Interesting.
If I go in the sun, it goes like bleach.
Have you ever Googled that? How like people have like...
I don't Google much.
Oh, okay. My bad. Can you explain your hand tattoo?
Which one?
Both? Is that
Oh,
a
these are
lotus
my
flower?
hands.
No.
It is.
I have a lotus flower on my neck. Yours
It's
is
supposed to
way
be
cooler.
pink.
Yeah, mine's fading, but can you explain those? Are those eyes?
Pink lotus survives in any thing. It was like the most holy of the lotuses according to Buddha or
It's
whatever.
really pretty.
Or the Buddha or whatever, however it was referred. But it doesn't even feel like my hand.
Really?
But yeah. But then this one is from Kingdom Hearts. I just took the fun guys out of it.
From what?
Kingdom Hearts, it's a video game. I just took the fun little guys out of it because I was
nice.
like, it's literally like one of the covers.
Yeah. Nice. That looks like it hurt.
It did hurt, but he said your hand will never be the same if you keep if we keep doing it in one session. And I just said just do it. Like feel, look, it's lizard skin.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's not like that's like I couldn't even feel that.
That's crazy.
Which is good because you know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not good to say.
Any hobbies or anything you like to do when you're not doing music?
Prepare for war. Prepare for the next battle.
What's the next battle?
Music. So just look for better musical equipment. Read about musical stuff. Just prepare for war. Every song I make is a war. So you got to prepare for war.
Love it. Awesome. Is there anything else you want to let the people know?
I'm watching you. I see everything.
Yikes, that's creepy.
I know way more than you think I know.
Damn. You want to enlighten us on something?
I can't even talk about what I know.
Okay.
Just don't come at me. And I won't come
at you.
Yeah.
Boom. Thank you. Yay! We got a smile! Yay!
I paid for these. They're fake.
They look great.